This video contains harsh language, specifically English. Warning: the following video contains opinions, and they could even be contrary to yours. Please remember that even in the heat of the moment, it's about opinion. If you watch the whole video and you still don't agree with me, well, feel free to sound off in the comments. Just don't be a dick about it. Opinionated mates. As we head towards a digital-only future, there are things that make me worried that a digital-only future is not the right way to go. According to an article from Nintendo Everything, the game Project X Zone, the wonderful collaboration between Namco, Capcom, and Sega, where classic characters of each company's franchises go head-to-head in a strategy RPG offering, has been taken down from the Nintendo 3DS eShop, and Namco has provided no reasoning why. To begin with, users couldn't re-download the software even if they had previously bought it, because the game didn't turn up in the previously downloaded software section of the Nintendo 3DS eShop, but recently it's reappeared. However, the game cannot be purchased now on Nintendo eShop. If you didn't get it, you've missed out on the digital version. Meanwhile, scalpers have already obtained every possible copy of Project X Zone and ramped the price up so high that the Japanese special edition is cheaper than the North American version. What sense does that make? A limited edition is cheaper. But hey, that's scalpers for you. Now, this certainly isn't the first time that this has happened with digital games. Deadpool went down for a while, if I remember correctly, and Outrun 2002 Live Arcade, which went down because of the Ferrari sponsorship with Sega ending. The game can still be re-downloaded though, and it wasn't until recently that Project X Zone was re-downloadable. So I can understand at the very least Sega couldn't sell Outrun Live Arcade anymore because it contained Ferrari sponsorship. But what about Project X Zone? Does Project X Zone have a Ferrari sponsorship? I don't think so. What could possibly be in Project Cross Zone? I know that's going to be annoying people who are watching, so I'm going to continue saying it. Project X Zone. What could possibly be in that game that's making that's making Sega, Namco, or Capcom so upset that they had to pull it? Was the game really that bad? I understand that it was plagued with being tedious as fuck from what I remember reading, but that's surely not a reason to take the game down. I'm just curious, what reasoning do they have for pulling it down? We're meant to believe that digital only is the future. We're meant to believe that digital only is more convenient for the user, despite the fact that as games get bigger, you have to sit there and watch a 70 gigabyte game download. But that's besides the point. Apparently it's more convenient, and yet games can just disappear, and for a while you can't even get them back. A precedent has been set in that when we buy something, we own it. That has been true about items, possessions. You buy something, you own it. So at what point did this transition happen? How is it only a rental that we can't get back? How can this be the digital-only future that makes everything better, that makes everything more convenient for the user? It doesn't make anything convenient for the user at all, because the user has to buy SD cards for their devices to hold more information. Users have to buy stuff as well as the digital game itself. They have to provide their own internet connection, which costs money, and then they can't get the game that they have bought with their own money and spent precious internet downloading and spent precious money buying the SD card to store it on, and then they can't own the game anymore because they can't re-download it if they deleted it, or they bought it and decided maybe I won't download it right away because I don't have enough space on my SD card. I'm going to play this, and this, and then when they go to download it, the button's missing. What do I know? I'm not a greedy corporation. I don't understand how greedy corporations think. And I don't understand what could be in Project X Zone that's not in Project X Zone 2, that requires Project X Zone to be taken down, but Project X Zone 2 stay up. Now, I understand what Nintendo's trying to do with the Switch. It's very clever. They're releasing such a small number of games to convince the general public that digital only is more convenient and it's the future. And it's clever. This sort of publishing where you release 10% of what is actually a responsible amount, Breath of the Wild, to trick people into buying it digital. Yeah, I get it. Very clever. Very clever. When it comes to owning things digitally, you never truly own them. And then corporations can just be cruel and they can take your games away. And you can't do anything about it because somewhere in that 1,000-page EULA you clicked, there's a little thing like, we reserve the right to remove this product at any time. I just don't get it. What could be in Project X Zone that's upset Namco, Capcom, or Sega so badly? And why now is the physical copy of the game so expensive? Well, I can answer that one, because scalpers are assholes. But that's just my opinion. What's yours?